Hello everyone, this is Genesis. I'm coming back to you with a little bit of different of a video. This is a video of me just going to be a coding, so this might be a long video, might be a rather short one. We shall see. So I am actually working on just a little side project. Well, I hope it's going to become a full project after Degeneration is released. Maybe before update become AI, we'll see. What I feel like doing, I am redoing Degeneration. I'm going to simplify it quite a bit, make a lot more focus on quick and fun gameplay, and we're going to go from there. What am I doing here? Well, we are just designing the basic Mutant AI. Now, I don't know if you have heard of Degeneration or what that is like, but essentially it is a survival game. Yes, another survival game that is going to focus purely on the co-op aspect of it, not the PvP at all. There will be no PvP, and the whole goal will be to survive with you and your friends in a never-ending assault of mutants. And I'm very explicit when I say mutants, because I want the infection to be much different than hopefully other mods do, or just my own unique fun style. Like, it's something at the end of the day I will be happy to sit down and play for hours and hours when I have the time. So what am I doing right now? Well, I got some basic things up, and I will go ahead and show you that right now. I'm working on an FSM for the basic mutant. So the basic mutant is just going to be like a typical zombie. It's going to chase after you. It's going to try to eat you. You know, nothing special about it really beyond that. I'm starting with the basic mutant because beyond that, it's going to allow me to make more advanced ones. And I have quite a few ideas already of how to make more advanced, smart AI. I want the mutants not to be just a mob running at you. I want them to think a little bit better. So I want each mutant to be a little bit more deadly, so I can have less of them, so I can afford more CPU cycles to things like more complex thought. And I'm not saying like something really, you know, super duper complex thought here. I'm just enough for it to keep in your toes. So let's go ahead and see where I'm at right now. Right now, I'm making a new mission, just at least to start with things here. Let me drag it on over here. I got a bunch of basic functions, a lot of the boring stuff already completed that I can go ahead and keep making. I have my zombie behavior FSM, which is from my old Degeneration, just right here, that I'm using just as for ideas, because this is very inefficient. This is not good. So I'm going to be making my own. So we're going from this huge mess to something more like this. And so right where I'm at right now is I am at the home. This is what the mutant starts here. I'm going to spawn in an agent. Agent's a lot less costly than say units. And so that's my Discord going off. Weird. Alright, so what I want to do is I'm setting up some basic stuff here. Is we have, if they see somebody here, they can they'll go get aggressive. We're not up there yet, but right now I want to make it so until they see you, I want them to pace around. I want them to just kind of move around, or if they have an objective or see something interesting. And this tree will definitely grow, so I want to be able to give them a waypoint to go to as well if I want them to all to move. So I want them to be very modular. I want them to be very controllable through scripts. So what I want to design is a wandering function here. Well, if I'm designing a wandering function, I need to go ahead and use an agent to do that for the sole purpose of agents. They just get handled differently in FSM, so that makes sense. So I actually have another. That's where I updated. Here's an example zombie behavior tree. I just used some old Z stuff from here I want to update. But regardless, I spawn in, I use agents, and the agents are done this way. So I'm going to copy a lot of that, and you can make them in any way. So I'm going to make a script that just let me create these guys on the fly. Will be very, very nice. So we're going to go ahead and do new. We're going to do text document. Do create Z. or M for mutant. And this is simply going to allow me to control using file patching control some guys, spawn them on the fly and code on the fly here. So what I want to do first is get a function here that just will create a single quote unquote infected or mutant. And I just need to see how I did this here. Okay, using create agent, you can see here. I disabled their FSM. I don't even know if agents have FSM, but for some reason it would only work if I did that. Okay, I'm just going to copy this and get rid of things I don't need right now. All the stuff I will need to get back in here. Right now I don't need it. And this function will more or less be a throwaway one. I'm not going to really need it. Okay. And ideally then we'll have this on behavior.fsm going. But right now what I want to do is, let me close this down. Right now what I want to do is just use this purely as much as I can to get the function working, and then I'll add it to the FSM and add it to this wander here, because here's the function for the wander, and I'll go ahead and add it already to my library of functions here. I'll do wander. It'll just be a class wander, and I will just make sure that this is all set up. Alright, so here we go. We're going to create one. And we need to figure out how to get it to kind of patrol around or just wander around. Now I'm looking at this one because I have them swap to a certain animation speed, and then I can control the speeds now through this animation speed coefficient. And I'm looking at this, and I'm just going to copy this. Because a lot of this actually I do need. So in this basic mutant thing, I'm going to go ahead and get this set up, and I need to actually get this function here, the switch move everywhere, also going. So we'll get that sorted. And so I'm just getting this set up right now. I don't need this. Don't need this. Don't need this. Don't need this. Don't need any of this yet. I don't know if that does anything anymore, but we're going to use it. We are going to be sure to remove all the objects from these dudes here. Make sure that they're in the negatives, so they are considered enemy. And disable anything extra we need to. Just want to disable as much as possible, or make sure they aren't impacted by stamina. Alright. Now all this right here, I need to go ahead and get that over to our test function here. Bam. Which we're going to change AI unit to _Z. Just to keep it consistent. I don't need this. Get rid of that for right now. And so all you're seeing me doing here is just setting up the basics. I had a killed event handler in here somewhere. Did I miss that? What the hell? One more time. There we go. Now I do want to add this killed event handler in here. From here. Just because I want it so when I kill these guys, I don't be considered hostile. I thought I had that in here. Oh, you know what? That was probably from here. Yep. I made a dumb mistake there. Hold on. Wow. Yeah, there we go. Alright. So before I do anything, I need to make sure this is defined. And so I have this function here at the beginning. It will go ahead and define these functions. And servers, clients, everyone will execute this. And I actually, I'm going to, I'm going to grab that from this init here. Have a, oh, I thought I did. Or was that in VCOM? Why does it keep doing that? Functions. Net. Yeah, we're going to grab this. And we're going to make sure these get defined in here. And just for the sake of this, I'm going to put them in here too because they're not defined already in this current version. So now they are defined and now will be defined in the future just fine. Close these up now. Alright. So now we have the switch move everywhere created. We have the speed get set. Beautiful. And so all of this right here is what should be in here. Okay. And why am I doing this all here? Because this FSM doesn't update in the fly, because I don't think it does. So I can't just execute it right now because I need it to be updated. I might be able to do it if I put this in the scripts folder, but I'm just going to do this for now. Okay. So we're going to create a function. It's going to be called zwander, right? So this function will make a mutant wander, and I think it was MW, yes. And so we'll just do params is going to be the mutant, but for testing purposes, actually no, I can have that. Yeah, so z spawn Degen func and wander, and actually I want to make this a call if I can, as much as possible. Okay. So let's see how I got agents to move, because this has changed. Agents don't move the same way as like AI units do. So how do I get them to move? Well, that's not too helpful. I use a DGN zombie move. Well, if I look in the folder, zombie move, I use a move to and a do move. Now I think it's move 2 you want to use, but we're going to find out right now. So the first things first is, put this here, I need to find a random position. Okay, so random position. Oh, do they have a random position function? Let's take a look. I think they do. And random pause, yeah. Select a random position according to given parameters within a given area. So I can take this. We have a whitelist, blacklist, and code. Object, trigger, array, center, and radius. So we can have center and the radius here. Blacklisted areas can be triggers, strings, water. We want to exclude water. So that's really good. Okay, so we're going to go and put that in there. We'll do private. Actually, we don't even need to do that. We can do position M. We'll do 15. Let's do 25. Keep it small, and we'll put water. All right, can I do that? Is that an array? Object array. I think it just needs to be like this. And we can do Z and move to this pause. And for right now, just to get the movement done, I'll do while alive M. Do this, and we'll have it sleep. Well, actually, yeah, this is just for testing purposes right now. Because eventually this will not be a loop like this, it'll be just a call function. And we'll do system chat, move. And this will test if move to is the right to use for these guys. So I think I might be missing something here, but let's go ahead and launch it. Let's see. Create, yeah. Oh, got an error. Oh, I made a dumb mistake. This needs to be up here, right before it gets called. So unfortunately, I need to put this guy to his misery. And I'm also going to run, just for cleanup purposes, advanced Zeus. Okay, we did get an error there. So this is telling me that I'm missing some brackets or something. So it might be something wrong with this command. I am gonna take this command. I'm gonna run this and see if I get an error. Type string expected array. So can I put this in an array? Yep, and it returns that. So this needs to be in an array. Alright. Alive am. Well, it would help if, man, I must be tired. This needs to be up here before I try to use the variable, right? That makes sense. I'm just going to clean up these bodies. And I did it again. I'm trying to rush this. I'm not being careful. It needs to be an M. Okay. And I'm using that new fear animation they have just because it looks just crazy, because he's already engaging these targets. So the move to seemed to be the trick there. Great. Let's see what happens if we spawn a couple of them in. Let's see how they move. Okay, now these are agents, so and we're all curious, and agents actually, I don't get control over these. See, he's starting to attack. You can see they're constantly moving around, navigating around just fine. They have no AI right now to attack. You can see they're moving around more. That's great. So let's really test this out here. I want to see how many of these basic guys I can get right now. The whole point of coding is just to have fun. Just have fun. Let's see. I think it's 4i. Yeah. So what we're gonna do is really see what I can do to my frame rate here. Let's see, from 0 to, let's see if it happens if we get 100 of these guys. 101. What happens? I'm expecting to get some lag here. And there'll be ways to even optimize this, but let's see what happens now. Do agents... Do agents when they die count as they do? Okay, and I'm also going to get a command ready here. That is all agents, I believe. Or agents. Okay, I'm just going to save these commands. Let's get them ready. We're going to have for each agents be agent X. And we're going to do set damage 1. I believe that should work. Maybe. We'll find out. Worst comes to worst, let's just restart the mission. So here we go. Was 100. All at one. Oh, I think it's killing me here. I think having them spawn on top of me, we're having a physics issue here. Yeah. Well, there's quite a few of these guys, and my framing actually is... Ow! He just shot me. Oh, hello. My frame rate is actually still in the 40s. While I'm recording, which isn't that bad. That's 100 these objects on the screen. So let's go ahead and clean up that, which helps a lot. And then let's go ahead and try this command. I don't know if this is going to work. Agents are a little different. Yep, that did it. Okay. So let's try this. And spawning them in, you can see, is the most difficult. So I'm actually going to add in a small sleep here. Try one more time. Okay, here we go. This time I can spread them around without the physics getting in the way. See, that's what caused the issue, is spawning so many. And I'm trying to see how many I can really spawn in. I'm watching my frame rate right now. I'm in the 80s, 70s, 70s. I just wait for them all to spawn in. I think I'm still spawning them. Yep. So this is almost a situation that would never happen. Having this many spawned at once is just a big no-no. So I'm still getting 50 frames a second right now. And that's with a lot of loops going on too. I don't like having lots of loops like this, but it's actually working out very, very well. And I really do like that animation. It's something that doesn't require me to have a mod. It can be all scripted. I think it works very well. You just speed up their animation enough and makes them look pretty creepy. You can see they're pathing around just fine. Okay. So let's go on to the next step. Kill them all. That physics causes some lag, and delete the bodies. Okay, so now I'm pretty happy with this finding. So what I can do now is open up the basic mutant here. We're going to turn home. Every time it returns home, I'm going to want them to wander. Now the wandering is going to be different. So we're going to get rid of the while alive, and this. It's going to be a total of 2 lines. Probably be reduced from there. But that's okay. We're going to take this. We're going to go... Where'd I put it? I think I closed it. We're going to open this up. We're going to go back to here. Mutants. What I want to do for this video is get to the point where they are attacking. Just some basic stuff. Nothing very difficult. And I have my Windows is doing a virus scan, of course. So, here we go. And I could even add a parameter for distance, like how far I want them to wander. I could do something like that. We'll keep it basic right now. Okay, so what this means is they start here. They get all these variables defined about them, right? Then they will come here and they will instantly wander around. No wait. And then after 5 seconds they'll wander again. Let's change this to 10. Keep this to 5. And this is actually another change. I actually might make the wander. Let's see, now here's something. Move to has a ability to tell you if it's finished or not. Move to completed and move to failed. So what we can do is add in a check so they're not constantly just, because what's going to happen right now, if I can communicate this better, is every 5 seconds, if it's just going to bounce back and forth in here, between here and then here and then here and then here, well, this is going to activate every time. This needs to be a call. And it'll activate every time, causing them to go to a new position, like in mid-movement. I want them to go to a location, stop, go to a new location, stop, go to a new location. I want their movement to be a little bit more predictable, so the players can try sneaking, which I figure would be very difficult, but I can give it a try. So maybe what I'm thinking is first I need to see this move to completed. I need to figure out what happens if you execute it with no one that has a move to command. Like, I don't have a move to command, so what happens if I check for that? Why am I checking for this? Well, before they get moved, yeah, it's false. Before they get told to move, it'll do a check to see if it's false. So we know it's going to start false. That's a little bit of a problem. I'm trying to think how I can fix this. So one basic false. So let's spawn a zombie here, an agent, and we're going to go back to our lovely create M here. We don't want to spawn that many anymore. It's as fun as that was. Okay. But what I want to do is do a test. I'm going to spawn one guy in. He's going to be given a position to move to. And we're going to see what it says before and after the move to. So and we'll just add in a wait until And this is again is spawn again because I have a wait until here. Until m distance 2D. Oh. We'll do speed is equal to 0. We'll just do a sleep one, give them time to move. I was going to do wait until at a certain position, but unfortunately that means I have to change this up how this works. So we're going to go ahead and create the guy. Oh, but you immediately got an error. Oh, I think because this is speed m. There we go. Okay, it's false. He moved. Now it's true. Okay. Now I think cursor object works for these guys. So if I do hint format, move to completed cursor object, true. So what we can do, that's good to know. So it always starts off false. But what we can do is always have this executed immediately. Alright, so it always gets executed. They will always move right in the beginning when they get spawned. Wander movement. And then we can have a simple check right here. Just like we did here. If the move to is completed, or, because remember there's two of them, there's move to completed and there's move to failed. Or move to failed. This will be a low level, like 25. Then we want to go ahead and spawn it again. So then it should keep moving. Okay, and every 5 seconds it'll refresh. And it'll check every 5 seconds if he... So what this does is it goes, okay, spawn him in, tell him to wander, and then come here. And then every 5, well this isn't 5 seconds, it's 5 milliseconds. Every 5 milliseconds, check. Do we see anything? Do we see interesting? Anything interesting, which is always going to be false right now. If not, then we can move around. We can wander. Okay. So from there, let's go ahead and test just this basic thing right here. So I'm going to hit escape, abort. I'm going to reload it so the FSM gets recompiled. Whoops, wrong button. Come on. Yes, I know. Windows antivirus. It's just, it's all, my frame rate's also lower because I'm recording and I also have a stupid antivirus going that I can't stop. I deleted all the scheduled events for it, but I have to wait for the future now. Okay. So here we are. Here's our friend right there. And let's go ahead and spawn in a zombie. This we no longer need. Right, because we have the basic already and we don't need this either. So and this create M is always going to be kind of our sketchpad. And let me see, let me remind myself what variables I have set up here. So the switch move. So none of this gets set up here. Okay. So this stuff, I think, I had probably had a reason that it was right here. I can't remember why. And the player ad rating 10,000 is not. That's not a good. This is not a good event handler. This is just for testing right now. This will need to be changed to the killer. So that will be addressed as well. Alright. One thing I've noticed about agents is they seem to take a little bit to fully initialize. Maybe no collide. There. This would also save a lot of processing. Alright. But now what we need to do is Z execute FSM. I think it's under mutants / basic mutant .fsm. I believe that's it. Let's see if I'm right. Nope. Alright, we got some weird errors there. Hold on. So we had some weird errors. I actually couldn't even catch all those. I really don't want to open up my RPT right now. Alright, we're going to add this guy. One thing I realized, there's no one listed in the food array. So we'll put that guy in there. Yep, M1 will be in that food array. And just make sure we're far, far away. And here. We got an error again instantly. So we're getting an error. I'm going to go and take a look at the FSM. Is this. So that's the problem. This needs to be this. Well, actually what we can do, create M, change this to that, bam, and we get one error now. Which is the no collide, which I thought I did that right. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? He walked out. I lost him. I lost my, oh there he is, there's my little mutant hiding in a bush. So we need to see if he moves eventually. And the hope is that he will. In the meantime, I'm gonna look up this no collide here. Oh, can collide. My bad. Can collide. And he stopped, but now I'm wondering if that's because... Now we need to do a test here. Now I'm wondering if he saw this guy up here through the terrain. Now we need to check to see if that vision check that I have just goes through terrain. So we need to go ahead and grab the Z-spot. And again, I'm going to, oops, keep that there. M is just going to be the player. So I'm just going to pretend that I'm a mutant now. And we're going to system chat format. Let's say, now if this says 0 on the bottom, that means that we can see through the hills. Okay, and I don't want, oops, I don't want this. Want this. We can see through the hills. So he stopped because he saw through the hill, and that kicked him along to the next state in this FSM. It kicked him up to this aggression state, which we know that's working now, but there's nothing up here. So he just stops. Nothing happens. And you can see 0, and if I get behind this, even this doesn't count. How does this building count? This is odd. So now I'm going to come up here. Okay, we're getting some really odd results. Oh, I see the problem here. This is actually just a poorly written script. I don't think this is the function's fault at all. Ah, there we go. So this was just a poorly written function here. Yep, there's one. So it was always able to see because it bugged out. Let's retest to see if this will see through terrain, because I thought this didn't see through terrain. No, I don't think it does. Because there's nothing in the way between us. Now let's make sure it's not this fence. The fence doesn't count. I like that. Does this bush count? Bush counts even. So that's really good. You can see how it says 1. That means there's one thing in the way. And I only want to return one result. All I need is one thing to be in the way. Okay, so that means I need to fix that real quick. So I come in here. I need to delete that. Okay. Planning to make this a 1 as well. Okay, and I actually need to restart for this fix. I've already cemented that function here. So let's go ahead and just, while we're here anyway, move on to the aggression part. So I know we don't have any sound effects or anything. That'll be probably next time. But we do have aggression. And we also need to add certain things as well, just in here, like an end state, which will just be like dead. So the dead is, well, we're going to have dead. And then we have the basic code here that we execute. So this will be not alive Z. And of course, not being alive should have top priority, which I will always make 2000. Okay, and we actually need to do stuff like this in every layer. And this gives us more control over, like, maybe find a certain effects when they die at certain times. Then I also can do that. So here's he's dead. So we see somebody. What happens if you see someone? Well, this is something I'm going to steal from Degeneration, is I have this prediction coding stuff. It's called predict movement. I'm going to open it up right now. Very simple. It literally just tries to predict the movement of an entity. And I'm going to grab this code and we're going to make the function. Well, now, why do I try to predict the movement? Well, one, it kind of makes them pretty awesome, feels like smarter entities aren't just tailing you, you know. ArmA is notorious for having them pathing slow, so if you just back up slowly, they'll never reach it because they always get to your old position. Well, with this, you don't have that problem because they are trying to predict where you're going. Now, it's not going to be perfect, but you have to really do some zigzagging to get away from them. You can't just run straight. So we'll do move, predict, SQF. We are going to dump this in. I don't really need to test this file too much because I've already used it quite a bit. Predict motion of an object and return the predicted position. Okay. So we get pause, we get the velocity, we do some math on it. Good, good, good. Let's add some private variables in here. Most of this, actually I think all these are like private variable. Just one variable after the other. And actually find a way to condense this I'm sure it could. Alright. So we got a movement prediction right here. And let's go ahead and add it in to here. This is going so slow. There we go. I'm just going to keep adding on to my little library of functions here. We'll just start to grow each time we work on it. And we're going to have a move predict. And let's write this. This is another function I can use call on. I only use these two to see how to call them, if they are a call or a spawn. So if you see the food, what we need to do is now slowly call this move prediction code. Wow. And the target that you see. Now, one thing I just realized, we need to figure out what he's seeing. Well, we can assume, and this is my cheeky way of not having to check every entity nearby, and you can actually abuse this in the game right now with the way they're set up, is it always just finds the closest. It always finds the closest guy. So, all I have to do, just in here, find the closest guy here, find the movement, and then we need to give him a do move. So much like this wander movement here we have under actions, and I can even keep it even more simple than that. And this really doesn't even need to be its own function. This could really be its own line in here. But I might change that, might not. This might get more complicated depending on what's going on. So I'm going to leave it like that for now. But I can do something like this, where we have said move to this position it predicts. Okay. Look at that. So then it'll move to that position. Now the same thing here. We need to have a wait. And I'm actually in the I'm going to use a very similar system as I'm thinking about this out loud, so we don't overuse this command here. So we can put this in the action spot here, and the action spot here, put it again. So we get activated here. He'll get told to move, but until he completes the move or it's failed, he won't execute the command again. And we'll see how this moves. This is going to require tweaking to make sure that it's not they're not too easy to avoid. I want them to actually run faster than the player, and I want them to be difficult to avoid. I mean, I'm sure you can always outmaneuver them, but yeah. So and then here is actually going to be a distance check. So distance. This is going to be 2D. Actually, we'll do just distance because they might be up higher. We'll do keep 2D because it's more efficient. I have an idea later. As less than, say, I don't know, we'll do 3 meters. So if it's distance, and this will be a check of like 600, just highest priority. Okay, so we'll check, is it my dead? Should I abort? Yes. If not, okay, if I get within a certain distance, then we want to attack. See, this is just a big if-then tree, really. And this will be attack. Now the attack. And this is going to be hopefully a little bit more of the fun part. Okay. And I'm thinking of in the head, I'm going too far right now, but we'll just go and do the attack. And let's get the attack down. So let's see how I did it with my old one. We can see I have a bunch of different attacks up here. I would do zombie bite. Okay. So again, very helpful. I'll pull this up. Degen zombie bite. And as it loads, you can see there's a lot of stuff here. It's messy. Well, you can see use the good old grenade throw animation. And I actually don't like this. This is from Degeneration. I think I actually changed it in my little Halloween mission that I released. Here we go. This looks a little bit more clean, still very messy. And you can see here, that's just, yeah, definitely gonna need some loving. And I have a lot of audio stuff in here. We're gonna ignore that for now. And some old Miss Fucking P. Oh boy. So what I'm interested in is I'm gonna grab these. These are the animations. This is going to speed this up quite significantly here. And I'm going to make yet another function. Mutants. Do function. We'll do ground attack. Okay, we'll open her up. Just copy that in there right now just to hold it. And then of course I'm going to go down here, create yet another function. This is gonna be full by the end of it. Called, what was it? G attack. G attack. Okay. Yep, there it is. And we'll just have and this attack movement, I'm actually going to want this to go quicker, like every 2 seconds. So I wanted to check 2 milliseconds if it's close enough, to attack. And we'll start there. Okay, there's a call G attack. And what we're going to pass through that is going to be said the person being targeted. And so we're going to come in here, do a really brief description. This function will allow the mutants to attack people. Params is going to be, what is it? What I do? The mutant first? Yep. And I'm using Z sometimes, using M other times. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, so we'll make sure he plays. Remember, we have the switch move already defined. Then after 3 seconds, I'm going to switch back to that one, because when he plays this, he's going to swap out of that one animation. And then I want him to says direction before he swings. I think that's what I want. And then we can even see how I did the damage. It's even random here. We won't make it random for right now. do health. We'll do 0. We'll keep it low right now, 0.2. I also give it like a difficulty modifier. Okay. So after you attack, it's just gonna, there's nothing else to really perform here. We're just gonna go back here. And I'm thinking it just should return all the way back home here. And this might create some interesting behavior, but we'll have to see how this operates here. Put back the knee. Okay, I want to reconnect this back to return home. So this, like I said, to see how this works, it's always going to be a loop back. So with this, I'm sure there's going to be some errors, but they should be attacking. So let's go ahead and save this. I'm sure there's going to be some errors, but let's go ahead and take a look. Now we have no sound effects or anything in yet. And how long have we been going on this video here? We're about 56 minutes, so we'll be ending it shortly. Alright, so let's go ahead and see if we can get a little scenario going. Again, now I want to have some fun. So what I first want to do is activate, there we go, activate the Zeus. And I'm going to spawn in, I think I have RHS running. Yeah, sure, let's spawn in just some, I don't have vehicle setup, support, or anything like that. Infantry, I don't know what these guys are, so subcom, alright. Let's get these shotguns, I think these have shotguns, right? Yeah, let's just get a whole squad of these guys up here. Let's put them on line formation. Okay. And make sure we put them in the food array, because right now I have nothing that is putting these guys into a list of people they can, you know, devour. So we'll do for each all units. Push back X and unique. Okay. And DGNZ food equals DGNZ food minus player, because I don't want to be a target right now. Okay, so now all those guys should be added. And that's another command I'm going to save just for ease of use there. I'm going to be using that quite a bit. We're going to go ahead and take a look at our good old trusty create M, which is our scratch pad. And we're going to create just a single zombie. Oops, did I just pass that up? Okay, we just got an error. Type array expected number. Well, it looks like he was about to go attack though. So I made a mistake here. Where was that? No condition. This is actually what we need to do. And this might even simplify, this might be a slight optimization as well. I need to return the count. I think that'll work. This is the wrong one. Ah, there we go. So. There we go. So now I need to, I think that'll work, just doing that. Unfortunately, I need to reload it. Save. Play multiplayer. Okay. So there was an error there. He immediately aggroed because of the error. So I guess what I'll do first is spawn in a Z. And good thing I saved this command. Go ahead and add that in right away. Lock just a little bit away or teleport right here. Let's create a guy here, see if we get any error message. Now I won't count as something for him to aggro onto. But if the other guy ends up being in front of him, because remember it doesn't check, it's not just line of sight, it has to be in front. So you can see he's wandering around, he's actually going inside here, and it looks like as soon as he stops, he's moving. And I'm not too sure how if I like that or not. Part of me kind of does, like they're very unpredictable. So you can see he's just moving around. I like that. So let's go ahead and I think I might even, wow, they're just really wandering. Okay. So let's go ahead. Get this Savannah Zeus going. Let's just get any infantry, doesn't matter who, just to test. Combat patrol, sure.
Ready for orders.
We get 3 auto riflemen here. Let's add them to the list. Okay. And just so I don't get shot, I'm gonna lay down. I'm gonna add one here. Looks like he is actually immediately charging. Whoa, that was a weird little animation. These guys aren't even noticing him yet. Now they do. Okay. So it looks like the animations are going to need some work.
Ready. Awaiting orders.
No, not my group. No, I don't want them in my group.
Ready.
So let's set up just
Ready for orders.
let's set up a fight here. Now I'm actually going to do something a little bit more interesting here. I'm going to go up here and just spawn a bunch of them right here. We don't know what's going to happen because a lot of them, well, they're going to spawn by this building. They won't see right away, so they're all going to go random directions. So I want to see what's going to happen. And I should not have gotten rid of that thing. Dang it. Was it for... Oh man, let's just do another search for it. I just need to comment this line out because I'm going to be using this a lot right now. Okay. From 0 to, let's do 60. Step 1. And this should be more than enough. And we'll just put, actually I have a can collide here. Let's just add the tiniest of sleeps to see what happens. Okay. This is not something I'd recommend ever spawning anything like this. Well. Okay, so you can see they are moving. You can see the ones as soon as they see them. Oh, and here's the problem. This guy still counts. He's still apparently in that list. These guys are completely unaware. There we go. some of these guys are turning around the hill and they're seeing them. I like the chaotic movement. Some of these guys... Oh, they saw him first. Now I wonder, did I add them to the list, the array? I don't know if I added them to the array. They're skipping these guys entirely. Yeah, they are. So they saw this guy over here. Okay. I'm gonna do that one more time. I think I goofed it. You know what? I'm gonna do 100. Let's see how much we can break it, right? Okay, let's clean up what we got here. Let's go ahead and get all the bodies away. I'm going to turn down the sounds quite a bit.
Ready.
We're going to try that one more time.
Waiting. Awaiting orders.
Okay. And hip. And we're also going to hit format DG and food. You can see there's a lot of null in here. So these null are apparently guys that have died. And so you need to get something that loops to get rid of null objects out of there. But we added these guys in here. And I got teleported around, so we're going to try that again. And see what happens to me here this time. So I'm going to try 100 of these guys. And great. And I'm going that way this time. So a lot of these are going to immediately see them. You can see it's slowing down a little bit. I'm still being pushed around. Okay, there's 100 of them. You can see they're immediately going. They are quick to attack. Look at that. These guys are not aware at all yet. Now, here's the issue, is that they're targeting dead soldiers. So if I get rid of the dead guys, you can see that they actually go and attack appropriately. See? And it looks like they're actually attacking multiple times at once. You can see a lot of them actually slowly filtering down. And they will eventually just kind of disperse all across. And I wonder, with this camera, can you see them at all any better? No. Agents are just hard to track. You can see that they're attacking. And I'm not getting any huge spikes. This is actually running really well. So what I want to do is actually fix them attacking dead bodies. Now there's a couple ways to do that, I'm thinking. So I'm going to grab the... Let's see here. Let's go ahead and close down what I don't need. So there's two issues I see that I need to fix. One is that they are attacking really, really fast, like way too fast. And okay, here's this. So what's happening is they're going here. True. They're going right back to here instantly. There's no wait. Oh, oops. I think I just made something there I shouldn't have made. There we go. Oh, I think the scan is done. Nope. Okay. So there needs to be a wait. I need to have some form of a little break. Oh, what happened? There we are. before moving on again. This is wait 2. So let's give them at least a 5 millisecond break. They are just slingshotting people down, like they are just tearing into them, which is cool, but we need at least a 5 millisecond break between attacks. So there's that problem solved. Now they have a problem of, I think it's the closest object here. I just give it array, and this it's really not a problem with the function itself. And I don't want to change it because it's pulling in the nearest body. Well, what I really need is a way to filter out people that died from that list. So I'm trying to think how I'm going to do this here. I think we almost just might have to make a closest object one just specifically for the zombies. One that I use for, like, you know, finding things close together, and one for the Zeds that I could even make more optimized. I think that's going to be the way to do it. Or it might be just as easy if I take this array and I do select let's see, I'm gonna have to mess with this here. Oh, there's still a bunch of these guys running around here. Let's they're just gonna spread across the, oh, look at them all. These guys are still attacking. Let's go and get rid of that guy. Let them just go back to wandering around. You can see they go back to wandering around pretty easily and quickly, which is great. So I'm going to put some guys over here that are hopefully safer. Oh, did they destroy the... Oh no, it's just... Okay.
Standing by. Standing by.
Go ahead and add these guys here. So if we do test equals DGNZ food select is alive X. Was it just alive? I can't remember. I think it's that hint format. What this will do is pull anyone who's just alive. And it gets rid of the null. You can see it gets rid of the null because null doesn't count as alive. So that will solve the problem there. We can have something else remove the nulls later. So let me just, yeah, go ahead and do that there. So anytime we use the DGNZ food closest object for these guys, we're going to want to only provide it a list of the ones that are alive. I'm actually having a lot of fun doing this, so I don't want to stop. Okay, there we go. Very basic. Now here's not a problem I'm going to go ahead and tackle right away. Because we're going to test, we're going to do a little scenario here. Okay. What if they're in a vehicle? So, what we need to add here is if the unit is equal to vehicle unit and the distance is here, then we can execute that function. So let's say if they're on foot, then just do this normal attack. But if they're in a vehicle, well, it's going to require a different one. In a vehicle, we'll say how close do they have to be for vehicles. We'll just do, I don't know, 10. That's definitely probably too far, but we're just gonna keep it easy there. This will go at 550. So it'll be less of a priority. Actually, what we'll do is we'll just grab that. Less than 10. We'll just do something like that. So if it's not equal, then we're just going to assume they're in a vehicle. And this is where the distance 2D is a problem. Okay. I'm actually going to change this just to distance. Because if this is a helicopter, then they could hit you no matter how high up you were. So we definitely need to change that. Okay. And we probably don't need to have a separate one for attacking a vehicle, but I'm definitely going to. Okay, so I want to handle more specific things, so we'll do ground attack. This will be vehicle attack. Alright, and so we'll do the same thing we did before. Close this object. Function. Whoops. Function. Vehicle attack. SQF. Open it up. Okay, and it's going to be the exact same setup. So it's actually be very similar to just the ground attack. So I'm going to take this, paste it in there. Okay. Except it's going to be obviously vehicle. Set damage, get damage for the vehicle plus 1. And we'll do a calculation later for like armor. So like I think I'm gonna have them attack tires or things like that. Attack tires. So we're gonna start there. And it's also something else that I really, really am fond of. It shows the setup. I want to be able to set up barricades and have them be able to handle barricades being in the way. So if I were to like set up, say, you know, sandbag wall here, and just get a whole bunch of these like this, I want them to be able to get rid of these objects that are in the way. Alright, so there's a lot of ways I can do that, but I'm looking for efficiency because one thing I'm going to have is a lot of guys at once. So what I want them to do is attack like barricades first, and then the person. I don't want them doing both. So how am I going to do that? Well, let's see how I did that before. I don't think I did it in a very convincing way either. But you can see there's an object attack. Zombie by object. So we can do the same thing we've done before. Come into here. Zombie by object. We did nearest objects. That's actually not too bad of a distance of 8. So this is what I'm thinking. Zombie by object 2. So one thing I learned with objects is they have to have virtual health. Like a lot of objects don't have health. So they need to have it be added, and once they get a certain percentage, then you can delete them. And I think that's exactly what I'm going to do here. So this is going to be, you know, it said I was going to stop, but, you know, I kind of want to keep going. I'm going to go for a little bit longer. I want to get this done, and then I'll call it and we'll do like one big fight for anyone still watching. So I'm going to go ahead, and this is going to be a little more complicated. This is a feature I really want them to be able to, you know, punch objects at you and all sorts of things. So we're going to do two different things. Alright, and let me even check. Did I sure do. Okay. So what we're going to do is I'm going to do the first things first is punt. We're going to have them be able to punt objects. Something I've done before. And I think another mod did it as well. I think it's a great idea. So we're also going to have it included here. I mean, any physics object wants to be able to punt. Nothing big. Like, it's going to be, these guys are going to be basically, you know, small objects to be able to hit into your face, but nothing big, like barricades, anything that actually has physics. Okay. And I should include them, like, as they're moving by, what I want it to look like as they're moving by a vehicle. For say, once they're in their aggressive state, there's a vehicle here, and as they move by it, I want them to stop and swing at it and cause it to move, or even maybe not even play the animation. I'm seeing some guys here. One thing I'm noticing, I wonder if these guys are stuck. Oh, maybe they just were waiting. I think they were stuck inside of each other. And they were just moving all over the place still. You can see they're kind of spreading out. I really like that. Like, this place is just infested. Okay. So object punt. So we're going to create a function. Object punt right here, yeah. So how am I going to do this? I don't know. This is something I haven't really done before, so I think what we'll do while they're in their aggressive state is I really don't think that I want to really test this. I don't think this will be too costly. But doing it every 2 milliseconds definitely is. Well, let's see. Let's keep it a small radius of 5. Nearest objects to the zombie, and we're just going to do purely thing and thing. I think that's okay. And what I'll do as a player is I will teleport. Where are these guys at? Hill 162? A little further down. 135. And we're going to do system chat format. This isn't going to be at the sandbags or anything. This is completely different. This will be them just hitting objects around. So I want to see will these count as objects? These do not, which is good. I don't want them to. Like these cans here. Like if I were to put fuel canister. They count. That's what I need. Okay. And I think we can do just thing X, because things X means physics, right? So we're going to play it even more safe. Do thing X. Okay. This is just going to be, I think, another check. Object. So of course it is going to check, am I close enough to bite? Close enough to the vehicle? If not, then we're going to go ahead and see what objects I can hit. If they're just full of rage, I just want to destroy everything around them, right? So what we'll do is take this here. put it here. We'll do count this greater than 0. And we'll want to... The tricky thing is here, I don't want to run this command twice. That's tricky. Okay, so we're going to have to do private. And why am I putting it here? Because I need to be able to pull it, put it into some kind of handler that I can pull it later, so I don't have to run nearest objects twice. So I can do like count underscore OB here. And then I can just instantly do hit object. And we can restart the whole process. Okay. So there we go. But now we need an action. So that's where this is going to come in. So we have a lot of things here, and I don't think I should just need this. And I'm just trying to figure out what I want them to do is to hit the object. Even if it hits other mutants, that's fine. It's just they're supposed to be like a frenzy, like they're crazy. And we're just selecting because I think in this list it is just yep. 0 is always the closest to my understanding. I think that's it, but we're also going to test this here. So how are we going to test this? So I'm going to come in here, I'm going to spawn an canister. I'm going to give this guy a name here. Frank is going to be a cursor object. Okay, so we have Frank. Here's this physics object I want to punt at him, right? Pretend I'm a guy recharging him. So Frank is going to be the food here. The object is going to be nearest objects, obviously, closer to me, from here. So now I should be able to, did I do that right? Yep, so I should be able to just, oh, got an error. Ah, we need to add a select 0. Select 1. Oh, another error. Well, that's weird. Oh. We're missing a bracket here. There we go. There we go. This is why it's nice to be able to code on the fly. And you can see I did hit it towards him. I was not very impressed with the velocity here. A very lazy hit here. Oh. Okay. You can see, there we go. Now it's funny that they didn't do anything to him there. Okay. So let's try a bunch of these small ones here. You can see they're actually interacting with each other. Now let's get a car. Let's try this big ol' Hemet. I shouldn't go as far. Oh. This doesn't count as a thing. What is this? I want vehicles to count, so B_truck01 box. So now we can come into the config. Scroll up, let's close the music. Config vehicles. Actually, we're very close to being done here with this part. The B_truck. B_truck01 box. Okay. So this is, let's do all vehicles as well. So let's include all vehicles in this list here. Vehicles have physics, right? So we're going to go back around here. I really just hurt myself. Oh! Well, that's funny. Yeah, look, it's pushing me. Oh, 'cause I'm getting included in that list. That's funny. Okay. So we need to make sure that in this, we subtract zombie out of that. Same for here. Subtract me out of the equation. And you can say I just punted a gun. Oh, I'm punting people. Wow, that was actually, that just killed him. We're gonna keep it. So one thing I need to change though is I need to make it so we do not, that should not be thrown around people. Although that is kind of cool. That is not what I want. So we can maybe just do car or land vehicle probably. Because if I take a look at a soldier here, he's not a land vehicle, so maybe just land vehicle should count. This will do land vehicle. And
Report in. Over.
air. Make sure those air craft get targeted as well if you're that low to the ground. Okay. So these are the things we want to track here. And we're getting ready for a restart now. Bam. Actually, do one last thing. And this. We actually don't even need this. Well, actually we do, because I need to wait. So put the code there. This could go away. And I gotta make sure we replace Frank with food. 2, 3. Okay, and it won't get executed until, you know, of course, if it's greater than 0. And there we go. Hit object. So it'll hit an object towards them. And this is definitely going to be interesting to see how this impacts. If this is too, you know, heavy in the performance, then we have to find a different solution, right? But let's go ahead and do one final thing. I want to be able to attack walls, any object that's in the way. So we're going to do land bag fence. So I need to see what these are. Oops. Land underscore bag fence long. And this is just building. Strategic, static, all. Okay. So we're going to do static, building. I think we just do building. For now, I think that'll be more than enough. But this one I want to find near the food, the target. And we're going to do a very simple thing. Like, I'm going to keep it very simple to hurry this up. Add the time. Don't forget to add the time to this. Alright, is I'm going to simply delete the vehicle, just the test. If it's a building, I just delete it. This might get rid of like entire buildings right now, but that's okay. I just want to see how this performs. And obviously, we need to do a distance check. To the zombie. It's less than, we'll say, I don't know, 10 again. So as long as there's something in the array and the distance is less than, let's do 11, so it's less, you know, at 10 meters it can attack. Same thing with here. We don't have to worry about this because this is always on top of the zombie already within 5 meters. But this is with next to the person, so the zombie has to be close to the actual object. Now this is going to cause a lot more, definitely a lot more pull. So let's see how it handles. So we're going to go ahead and board out. Just do one last check on this. 2. We're going to save it, hit play. And hopefully after this I can stop this and go to bed, and we'll go ahead and get our commands ready. Alright, we're going to need to be able to add people to the list. Okay. Let's see, do I still have my advanced Zeus in here? Yes. So let's set up a little bit of a situation here. We'll have riflemen, just put everything in Chinaroo's guys here, that's fine. I want to have a bunch of cans. We'll have... no. Let's have a bunch of these. Right. And car. We'll have some off-roads here. This is definitely... should be a messy situation. Okay. Go ahead. We should add all these guys to the array. And sand. Back along. I'm just kind of quickly placing these down. So what I'm looking for here is players. When players can build bases and structures, well, how are they going to abuse the AI? Let's put it over there. So let's go ahead and I don't know if I'm going to make 100 again. Let's reduce it to 30. And see what error we get. Okay. So far no errors, but because they haven't activated any of the functions yet. I'm thinking they are seeing the... yep, they're seeing them. Actually, a lot of them are just choosing to go around. Some of these walls are close enough for them to delete. You can see right now I'm getting some lockups there. And this should be counting. That's what actually handled those guys pretty well. So let's try. Oh, I just did that way too many times. Oh, this is going to be a problem. Let's go ahead and... kill these guys off. Just spawn over like 200 of them at once. Whoa, look at that. The frame rate is just tanking. Oh, and I just got killed. They're still spawning. Okay, let's go ahead and abort this. That button way too many times. Alright. So one thing I noticed. These weights also need to be changed to this. Let's do a more controlled experiment here. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put this here. And we're going to add in a debug here. So we're going to do system chat format. And we're going to do OB and OB2. So what we're looking to see is if they actually are pulling up objects or not, which I'm sure they are. And if they are, I should be targeting them correctly. Let's go ahead and play again. I'm just making sure these are all connected. Yep. And I'm actually... We're going to go ahead and just delete this one guy here. Enable advanced Zeus. And we're going to make some spawns one guy. And I'm going to go right here. I'm going to have this guy facing the other way. And I'm going to spawn a bunch of cans. There should be plenty of targets for him to hit. Now we'll go ahead and create one. Oh, there he goes. You can see he's waiting. They're actually going around. So physics objects, by the way, they are terrified of. You can see they're getting a whole bunch of... I'm going to put him over here. Oh, now they have to go around. So we're getting a lot of zeros and twos, zeros and twos. Zeros and fours, sixes. So what's that telling us? That's telling us that... Oops. This needs to be increased. And we'll add the thing back in. It's finding a lot of buildings. And we'll try one more time. I think that'll be a final fix for that. And we'll see how this goes. Fortunately, I do have to reload it each time. I'm sure there's a way actually I could do without, but I just need to figure that out. And then we're going to stop this here because this is a long video. And I need to get to bed. So we're going to hit continue. Gonna be the same setup as in before. Going to enable the Zeus. Going to put that one guy as something for them to eat. Okay. Man, Zeus. Okay. Now this guy just peeking around the other way here. We're actually going to put striders. Just all around him. So this will really mess with the pathing, I'm assuming. So say we have a player who blocks himself in like that. Well, what are these little mutants going to be able to do about that? The whole goal is to find out how they're going to be, players are going to be abusing things. Actually, I don't think they see him. No, they don't see him yet. Oh, one of them just spotted him. I think he did. He's not sure to get to him. And we can test that by if I create this, put it next to him. Yep. You can see he really booted that. Wow. That's a little much, isn't it? And then he lost vision of him and he lost interest, I think. Yep. You can see now they just wander up. One of them sees him. So you can see there's an inherent problem to pathfinding in ArmA. So I can even create more here. Easy now with the fences down. So they're punting these, and I can actually reduce the range on these a little bit. Oh! And nail them with that. Okay. Let's get rid of these. I want to get someone completely enclosed in these sandbags here. There we are. Got the shotgun. Why not? I'm going to create a few more of these guys here. I'm going to add him to the list. He's apparently pretty effective at dropping these guys. I'm creating 2 at a time here. Alright, so what I'm seeing here is I'm actually going to need to... Oh! Ouch. You see that the Zeds are actually attacking the structures. They've killed these ones here. They don't know how to, like, they're cleaning all this stuff up, but they're having a hard time getting to him. So I'm going to change the pathing up to, that's something I'm not going to do today. We'll do that next video, is how to get them to path to the nearest object. This is their target. They're trying to path to him, but it's not going to work. So we're actually going to need to redo all the pathing, because you can see they're moving around. It's like almost they're putting too much thought into it. I just wish they would move towards the target. So it's interesting. I'm going to just spawn a whole bunch of them here. Oh, see, they got rid of one here. Oh, and they killed him by doing that. Getting a lot of errors because of that now. Now they're all can find a way in there. Interesting. Alright, guys. So, I think for one last final standoff, I think we can do that. Let's see what happens if we get a whole bunch of them again. The whole idea is to have fun, right? So let's do 100 of them. And set up just a group of guys. So what we're going to do, simply set up a rifle squad here.
Ready for orders.
You're going to push them back. I'm going to make it so I cannot be shot at. And I want to add, and let's add some tables here. Camping tables, just a bunch of, just lots of camping tables. To really kind of abuse that. And we're going to create a bunch. See that they've already destroyed a building. Oh, I can already see they're punting these things. Now, I'm not really happy about these things going into space like that. You can see they're just throwing them into space. That's gonna need some tweaking. You can see they're actually knocking down poles, destroying structures. That's actually working pretty well. As they get closer, I'm not hitting it as bad. And, alright. There's some guys that are brave charging into him. And it looks like they were able to clear 100 mutants with 2 casualties. So the tables got hit way over here. Okay, this is starting to shape up. So once we get the AI done, I think we'll be in a pretty good spot. Oh, there's even a few that wandered off back here too. Alright, everyone, thanks so much for watching.